good Friday to talk movies with Tay. It's a good Friday. It's a good Friday. It's a good Friday. Friday to talk movies with Tay. What's happening, y'all? Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. I hope we blessed and highly favored on this good Friday. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. What's going on, peoples? It's your host with the most, TheRealTaylorNicole, back at it again with another video for y'all. Back at it again with another podcast episode. Man, listen, it's a beautiful Friday. I hope y'all having a good Friday. Hopefully your week went well and you're getting to end that week, that work week with me, telling you about another movie. So, before we get started, let me do my little Happy Friday song. Unless you like the first one. So you heard the first Happy Friday song, or what was called Good Friday. This is Happy Friday. Tell me which song y'all like better. Do you like Good Friday or Happy Friday? So Happy Friday goes, Happy Friday, Happy Friday, Happy Friday, Happy Friday. I hope y'all tuning in to a Happy Friday, Happy Friday, Happy Friday, Happy Friday, Happy Friday. I hope y'all tuning in to a Happy Friday. You heard Good Friday in the beginning. It wasn't a full song yet because I haven't wrote it all the way out or thought of it. Actually, I didn't write none of this stuff. I just thought of it randomly. But y'all tell me. Y'all heard a snippet of Good Friday and y'all heard Happy Friday like always. Tell me which one y'all like better, Good Friday or Happy Friday. I might change a little theme song. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to create a good theme song and then use that as my intro. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. But anyway, a few little updates for everybody. You know, I like to bring little updates in before we get to the real meat and potatoes of the show. So first off, new Black History episodes have now been leaked. Like I said, you get those every Monday. This week's this Black History segment is about Sam Cooke. If you didn't know, that means you didn't watch Monday's episode. So, if you didn't watch Monday's episode, after this video is over with, I want you to jump over there and go watch that episode if you're into Black History. Also, this was the season finale for Anguished this week. Anguished is now on a season finale. Next week, which would be May 14th, you will start getting the therapy session episodes. And those episodes are what they entail. Therapy session episodes. It's only 12 episodes. I want to see how that one goes. If people like that one, every season after Anguish, every season finale for Anguish, I will do another therapy session episode. The only thing is there's only 3 seasons of Anguish. So after Anguish goes off, unless someone asks for, a season 4, we won't do a season 4 of Anguished. Really, I only had 3 seasons in mind. I haven't written a 4th season. I'm actually getting ready to start writing another mini-series to take place of Anguished. It's going to be a one woman or one man series. I'm not sure just yet of how I'm going to do it because I haven't written it yet. But this brain works wonders. Also, I may be starting another channel that is strictly conversational based, meaning that there might be guests on the show, there may be just me on the show, but it's going to end up being I'm trying to still think of a name, so I won't give out a name yet. I'm still trying to think of a name, that's why I haven't created it yet. But it's probably going to be a talk show based type of show. I'm still going to be hosted here in my living room, but it's still going to be a little different. And the reason why I'm venturing into that idea is because of the simple fact that I'm thinking of all of the ways that I can, broaden my brand, and get more exposure out there, get my face out there. Because my end goal is I want to be in filming. I want to be part of the production team, the directing team. I want to be hands-on into filming. And I got so many great movies and ideas that I've written that I'm trying to get out there. So enough of that though. That's just a little bit of update. Once again, everybody, if you don't like coming to YouTube every week for the pod, you can check it out. check the pod out on Apple Podcasting underneath Movies with Tay. And you can also check it out on Spotify as well underneath Movies with Tay. If you find it on Spotify, you can find it on Apple Podcasts. If you find it on Apple Podcasts, you can find it on Spotify. If you're on here, you can find them both on here. Also, make sure you guys follow my Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. All of them share the same name, TheReal_Taylor_Nicole. It's also how you find me on here, TheRealTaylorNicole. But yeah, that's just a little bit of update for you guys. My allergies is acting a little up today, so sorry if you catch me sneezing or whatever the case may be. It's not intentional. I just got bad allergies. But without further ado, after giving you guys a little update, also, I almost forgot one more thing. If you guys would like to watch the full series of Anguished, Black History videos, and also the new miniseries, you'll need to go to patreon.com/movies with Tay. Excuse me. Once again, that's patreon.com/movies with Tay. I think if you get the $3 subscription, if you get the $3 subscription, you should be able to watch all of those shows in full. Sooner or later, I keep saying I'm going to put the backstage videos up, and I am. I've just gotten a little too busy and been lifing lately that I unfortunately haven't gotten all the BTS uploaded just yet. But I will start getting all that stuff uploaded for people, especially when people start subscribing in. I'll get all that stuff uploaded so you guys can kind of see what the work was like, to get those shots for you, or get the episode for you, or get the season done. I do project it as I continue to do these are going to get better and better. It's getting dark in here. Hold on. Let me get a little bit more light in here just in case that sunlight continues to do that. But no, like I said, the more I do this work, the more it's going to get better. Also too, for people who are watching, do me a favor and just share the content, whatever it is that you're watching, whether it's the podcast, the miniseries, or the Black History videos. Do me a favor, just share them. It don't cost you nothing to share. I'm not even telling you that you gotta like it. If you actually don't like the video, but you think the people that you know might like the video like that, do me a favor and just share it. Wherever you share stuff, just hit the share button. It doesn't matter, because I would like my audience to find me, and I learned that the only way your audience is going to find you, besides the fact you can make quality videos, it's just that sometimes people who this video gets pushed to may not be the biggest fan of the video, but they may know people, which is why the video gets pushed to them, because they may know people who like the video, and because they don't like it, they don't think about sharing it, because it's like, I didn't like it, so why would I share it? That's why you share it. You share it so other people who may be like you and don't like it can know that there's videos out there like that, and it might help them get redirected to people that they do like, that do similar content, or you may send it out to people who actually do like it. And that's kind of what I want. I understand there's people out there that do not like content that I create, and just like every other content creator, that's normal. There's people who are not going to like the work, and I'm totally fine with that. I want to find the people who like my work, and then who knows, you might not like this, but you might end up liking my second channel. It's going to be like talk show host based, but that's just that. Give me a second, y'all. My computer locked me out for some reason today. But yeah, that's that. Like I said, just share away. And if you like the video, then hit the like button, comment, interact with me. I am not the type of person that I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the only thing that'll probably be my downfall is that I love responding back to people. I do. I love responding back to folks. So I think my biggest downfall is probably going to be the moment where I have my moment of where I get people coming in and commenting a lot. I want to probably spend hours trying to respond back to everybody, because that's just who I am. I like to show love to everybody, and I I like to interact with people. I love to hear difference of opinions and stuff like that. So I think that's probably going to be my only downfall, is the fact that I like to interact with people. So I'm going to probably spend hours. Luckily, I only upload 3 videos a week, so it probably won't be that bad. I'll probably have the opportunity to at least like everybody's comment and respond. But right now, I'm not in that position where I have too many people commenting. So I have plenty of time to respond back to everybody. And now that now that my computer's finally cooperated, we can get into the episode. I do apologize. The only reason I was still blabbing is because my computer, for some reason, was taking forever to open up. I don't know what the issue was with that. But anyway, let's jump right into it now. Let's get into the gist of what we got going on today. Today we got episode 42. Name of the movie is Duplicity. Running time is about 1 hour and 49 minutes. Release date was March 20th of 2025. Director, of course, as we all know, is Tyler Perry. Producer, Jennifer Fox, Laura Beckford, and Carrie Orrin. You can watch this movie solely on Amazon Prime. That's it, that's all. Amazon Prime. So, actors and actresses as they were presented on the screen. We got Kat Graham as Marley Wells, which hold on, I'll get into that in a second. Marley is a lawyer. Meagan Tanner as Fela Blackburn. She's a news anchor. Tyler Lepley as Tony Wells. Former cop, now PI. Ron Rico Lee as Kevin. He's the supervisor officer or head officer. Joshua Adiya. I don't know how to pronounce that man's last name. I'm sorry. As Rodney Blackburn. Wasn't for sure what he did for a living, to be honest. I don't remember them saying it. Nick Barata as Sam. He's a producer on the news. Jimmy Stanton as Caleb Kane. He's an officer, a rookie officer. Shannon Lanier as Shannon. He was a news co-host anchor. Sorry guys, I do apologize. I don't understand how I just took my allergy medication and my nose is just stopped up. I don't understand it. I really don't. So I apologize in advance for the wiping of the nose. There's nothing on my nose, but it just feels like it is. So I apologize in advance because it's kind of getting a little out of hand. Also, there were a few new subscribers to the channel last week. Unfortunately, a lot of them kept their information private, so I don't know who they are. But whoever you are, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in with us. Like I said, I don't know exactly who it was that subscribed, but either way go. I love you and I appreciate you for it. Now, let's get into the real deal. Let's get into what I came here for. Sorry, this episode probably was a little off. Just like I said, mainly because my sinuses is acting funny all of a sudden. I was just fine. Now it's acting silly. And then my computer was acting funny. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So, let's talk about this film. So, the movie opens up with us meeting the cast, Kevin, Fela, Tony, and Marley, at like this bike workout place where they riding bikes and they working out together and all this good stuff. And Kevin is flirting with Fela, but Fela's like shooting him down and, you know, whatever, which makes sense because Fela's married to Rodney. So she's kind of like giving him the cold shoulder, but she doesn't like Kevin, is what, you know, what we pick up. She doesn't like Kevin. She tells Marley, hey, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Now back to the show. Fela doesn't like Kevin, and she tells Marley she doesn't like Kevin because he's like basically trying to say he's a creep, is what she says. He's a creep in so many ways. So she doesn't like him. He comes to the gym and watches the women work out while he's in the back, and whatever. So Marley notices something that's off about Fela and Rodney, because she can sense it. Rodney's her brother. So she knew something's off, and Fela's like, did he tell you something? She was like, no, he ain't told me nothing. I just feel like something's off between the two of you. And, she's trying to figure out what's going on. And she's like, nothing. So they go have lunch or brunch or breakfast, whatever you want to call it, with Rodney, Tony, and Fela. See, Tony is Marley's boyfriend. They're not married, so I was kind of confused why her last name, when you look up the cast, her last name is Marley Wells, and his name is Tony Wells. They're not even married. So I don't know if that was just somebody intentionally did that on Google and just assumed, but that's not her last name. But I digress. I don't know what her last name is. They don't mention it in the movie from what I can remember, but I don't think it was Wells because her and Tony weren't married. But anyway, Tony don't like Rodney at all. And Marley knows that Tony and Rodney don't get along, but she still kind of, that's her brother, that's her man. She's gonna make them be in the same room regardless. She don't give a damn. And they go have this little lunch, and while they're having this lunch, Kevin is having a meeting with his group of officers about the crime in the area and all this stuff that's going on, and just the crime rate, the death rate, and all that jazz, right? And he tells Caleb, one of the rookies, that he's going to take him with him on his detour. He's going to take him. And he's like, did I do something wrong? He's like, no. I'm just going to take you with you. Now, once again, Marley and Tony are in a relationship, and Fela and Rodney are married, right? Well, while they were at the table, Marley was kind of like trying to pry into their personal business and find out what was going on. And Fela's like, you all in our business, but when are y'all two gonna get married? And she was like, ooh. And ooh. See, Marley's got trust issues. Her last relationship didn't end so well, so she has trust issues. And right now she's still feeling Tony out, basically. She don't really trust him 100%, but she likes him. Or loves him, should I say, I guess. I don't know. We'll have that conversation at the end if I remember. But while they're sitting at the table, Rodney mentions that he got to go on a run. He goes on a run every day, I guess, go on a little jog. And knowing what I know now about the movie kind of makes it so hard for me to talk about this in a way, because I can't wait to get to the end. So Fela goes to work. Like I said, she's a news anchor, and Rodney goes on his jog, and Marley's an attorney, so she's doing her attorney thing, and Tony's a PI, so Tony's doing his PI thing. All right. So Kevin is once again a supervising officer, so he's got the rookie Caleb with him on patrols, and they're pulling people over in the nice towns, a nice part of town, if you will, and Caleb's like, yo, man, like, when we gonna get to some real work? Like, I'm out here giving traffic tickets, and that's not what I'm here for. When do we gonna get to the real deal? So Kevin's like, you think you're ready for the hard stuff, hardball? And Caleb like, yeah, where I'm from, we got meth labs, bro. I'm not scared of nothing. Like, come on now. So right when they're getting ready to, or right when Kevin tells him to, relax and just give it some time, they get a call about a suspicious man in an alley possibly trying to break in somebody's home. Now, here's the thing that pissed me off. So Rodney was running on his jog. He was running, going on his little run or whatever, and he cuts through this alleyway, and he goes past this older lady's house into another house. But somebody called the older lady and told the older lady it looks like somebody's trying to break into her house. And the thing that pissed me off about the older lady is he was running through an alleyway, goes into a whole nother house. Doesn't enter her home at all, but she still calls the police and tells the police somebody's trying to break into her house. Nobody was breaking in. He went right past her house, but that's what she called and told the police. So, and she got an anonymous tip from a lady. When she answered the phone, the lady said that, hey, you don't know me, but there's a black guy walking, in your backyard. Looks like he might be trying to break in. So she called the police. Kevin and Caleb go to the scene. When they get there, she's like, he's somewhere in the back. He's somewhere in the back. As they get there, Rodney's coming out. Now remember, Rodney was on the jog, so Rodney got headphones in and a phone, right? So Rodney is coming from the back, somewhere in the back, coming out of an alley. He's coming out, and he's, bopping to his music, and you hear Caleb tell him to freeze, to stop. And Caleb steadily yelling, freeze, put your hands up, stop. And Rodney finally decides to look up. And when he looks up, he sees two guns pointed at him. His hands is in his pocket. He's bringing his hands out, but he got his phone in his hand. So we all know where this is going, right? Kind of common sense. He pulls the phone out of his pocket. Kevin yells gun. Caleb shoots. Boom, boom. Now, only thing that threw me off is because I was like, y'all can't tell the difference between a phone and a gun. So, and then I'm like, why did you shoot to kill? You could have shot him in the shoulder. You could have anything. But you shot him twice in the chest. And instantly you get mad at the white cop. Because you're like, well, what the hell? But that's what the movie wants you to do. The movie wants you to get mad at the white cop first. But I actually did not get mad at the white cop first. I got mad at Kevin first. Because Kevin is the one who yelled out gun. And that is why Caleb shot. Because Kevin never fired his weapon once. Kevin just yelled out gun. So Kevin was already on my suspect number one list anyway. Because you're flirting with Fela. You clearly like Fela. And then you just happened to be in the same neighborhood her husband was in. And you yell gun knowing the rookie was going to shoot to kill. And I don't believe Kevin didn't realize that was Fela's husband. I just don't believe he didn't realize it was Rodney. I believe he realized it was Rodney and had the rookie shoot him on purpose. So, shot him twice in the chest. They get him to the hospital. And Fela is, upset, crazy, you know what I'm saying? And Kevin shows up. She goes off on Kevin, rightfully so. And then shortly after we get the news that Rodney didn't make it. Now, let me fast forward back. So the way Fela found out that Rodney was dead was from the news. While she was at work. She's at work and the shooting gets reported. And it comes through and she's reading the teleprompter. And it's her husband. So she's like breaking down. Tony meets Marley at the courthouse to tell her brother had been shot. They all at the hospital, and that's how they all found out, Rodney died. So now they have to have they have to have Rodney's funeral. And they have Rodney's funeral, and news anchors show up to his funeral to try to get a report. Fela goes off on them, rightfully so. And Fela snaps on pretty much everybody. Kevin shows up to the repast, and Tony's telling him, you gotta go before she see you, cause she gonna snap when she see you, bro, so you gotta go. So Kevin like, I'm just trying to explain to her I'm sorry, and whatever. And she comes out, sees him, snaps on him, puts him out. Tony snatching Kevin up like a kid, pushing him out the door. They go out the door, and outside, Shannon and Sam are sitting outside talking to each other with two lovely ladies next to them. They out there chit-chatting, and they're eavesdropping and ear hustling on Tony and Kevin's conversation. Which, I'm going to tell y'all, from here on out, it's a lot of spoilers that I'm going to be throwing out. I'm going to just keep it a buck. Kevin and Tony were talking, and they knew Shannon and Sam were listening. They knew. But they were out there talking, and Kevin tells Tony that there's some shit about Caleb that don't nobody know. So basically dropping hints that Caleb probably shot Rodney on purpose because of his history. And he just leaves with that. So I think he said something along the lines that there's something wrong with that kid Caleb. Y'all need to do a little digging and research into it. So Caleb and Kevin both got suspended because of the shooting. Both of them got suspended for it. Kevin told Tony that since he's a PI, he can investigate and find out about Caleb on his own, basically, right? So Fela and Marley are upstairs talking, and Fela's kind of going through all these different stages of grief, and she's explaining like she don't know how she's going to live now that Rodney's gone, because he didn't have life insurance, he didn't, have nothing to stand the third, so she don't know how she's going to survive without Rodney. And Marley's all like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna get you what you deserve because they killed my brother for no reason. So Marley is wanting to stay with Fela. And Fela's like, nah, give me my space. I don't want nobody around right now. I just need my space. So Marley's, trying to forgive that, or not forgive that, but trying to accept that and give her space. While she's also grieving because that's her brother, So Marley goes to visit the mayor's office. And forgive me, I don't know the young lady's name who was the mayor's office assistant or whatever the hell she was. I don't remember her name. But she goes up there, and when she gets there, it's a bunch of protesters just everywhere. And they're outside demanding that Caleb be charged with murder. And, they're just out there just doing what protesters do. Well, she goes in to talk to the mayor office lady, and the mayor office lady talking that good talk. She talking real tough, basically trying to discourage Marley from going after the city for a lawsuit for her brother's death, and just trying to discourage her. And Marley like, if you think I'm gonna bitch out because you talking about some y'all gonna fight this wholeheartedly, I don't give a damn. My brother is dead. Fight all you want to. That's what I want you to do. Because I'm gonna fight. So before Marley gets to leave, she shows Marley the video footage of Rodney being shot. Now, if you're not paying attention to this movie, you would have missed this. While she was showing Marley the tape, Caleb realizes that, not Caleb, I'm sorry, Kevin realizes that it was a phone. And he tells Caleb, oh, it was a phone. So Caleb is over there performing CPR, trying to save Rodney's life, right? And Rodney is on the ground. He's still breathing. But Kevin pushes Caleb off of Rodney. See, if you watch the movie again, if you watched it already, you missed this. Go back and watch the movie. Kevin pushes Caleb off, or moves Caleb off of Rodney, while Caleb was trying to save Rodney's life. Marley was so in shock, she didn't even catch it. I caught it though. And I'm like, okay, so you did have him shoot him on purpose. So that checked the box for me in the beginning about Kevin. I don't know what Kevin's beef was with Rodney, but I know Kevin wanted that rookie to shoot Rodney and kill him, which is why he told him to stop performing CPR on Rodney. So Marley is at a gas station losing her shit after seeing that video. She's in there crying, breaking down. So much that Tony calls her, tells her he'll meet her up where she at, and Tony comes to meet her and tries to comfort her, and he assures her that the video is technically justifiable because it looked like Rodney had a gun, so that's kind of what we're trying to do. If it looks like a weapon, we fire, blah, 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 blah. So it's still not sitting right with Marley. And Tony's like, I don't know what else to tell you. But Tony Tony tells her, let's not talk about this no more. Let me get you home. I'll check on Fela. I'll make sure she's good and make sure she's straight. So he takes her home. The next morning, Marley wakes up, realizes she woke up late. And Tony's like, I already told him you'll be in a little late. He's in a situation. She like, you got to learn how to back the hell up and let me do me. Let me fight. I'm only good when I got a fight in me. You trying to push me back and hold me back is not good. Let me fight. So she ends up releasing a statement that she is going to request an open file request. She's also going to look into Caleb. You know, she lets him know, like, this whole situation, I'm going to investigate. And I'm coming after that ass. So she ends up heading to the location of where her brother was shot at. And the white lady who called the police was standing outside. So she's trying to talk to that lady. And the lady really don't want to tell her much besides that she got in a tip from a neighbor. And she gave the neighbor's name. I think it was Miss Beaumont or something like that. But she told her everything that she kind of needed to know besides maybe a few minor details. But I'm sorry, my mom was thinking about something. So when she told Marley who it was that called her, the thing that's backwards about this is because, remember, I told y'all she got an anonymous call. The person who called her never gave a name. So the white lady lied to Marley because that lady never gave her name. She said, you don't know me, but I'm one of your neighbors. She never gave a name, though. Never gave a name. So when the white lady gave the name of the neighbor that called her, she was just speculating because they never gave her a name. Never said who they were. They just said they were a neighbor of hers. So now at this point, shit just starting to smell even more fishy. Because I'm starting to connect the dots about certain people. And I got 2 people so far on my hit list and I know it's up to some bullshit. Right? Kevin's one. And so far, there's 2 other people that I'm leaning towards on some bullshit, but I can't put my finger on if it's, you know, if I'm right or not just yet. So Shannon and Sam meet up with Marley and they tell her that Shannon got an anonymous tip at the station from some strange woman. Apparently the house that Rodney went to through that alleyway, it was a woman he was meeting up with, a woman he was having an affair with on Fela. And they show her the pictures. She looks at the pictures and she notices something on the pictures that set her the fuck off, and she asked to keep them. And they like, yeah, go ahead, keep them. And she kept the pictures. She goes straight to Tony's ass because in one of the pictures, Tony's ass is in the picture. So she goes to Tony. She shows Tony the pictures, and she was like, when the fuck were you gonna tell me my brother was cheating on Fela? Like, why did you keep that a secret from me? And he was like, you made it seem like your brother was so perfect and he was this great guy. Like, I didn't want to ruin your image of your brother, basically. Gaslighting the fuck out of Marley. Because if you knew her brother was a cheater and that's why you didn't like her brother, why wouldn't you tell her the truth? The reason I don't like your brother is because he's cheating on his wife. That's why I don't like your brother. So now Tony is suspect number 2 to me because something about Tony wasn't right. There was a lot of stuff about Tony that wasn't right in the beginning of the movie, but then when we got to this part, I'm really like, yeah, something wrong with Tony. And I can't put my finger on it, but something wrong with Tony. Because I'm like, bro, you don't like her brother. That's prime stuff to tell her. I get you trying to avoid creating sibling issues, but I would have told her. You know she don't like people lying to her. She don't like secrets being held from her. So I would have told her. I was hired to take pictures of your brother and to follow your brother around because some man assumed he was cheating with a woman. So I was hired to follow him around. And this is what I found out about your brother. He's cheating with this female, right? But he didn't do that. So the crazy thing that threw me off, and it would really seal the deal that Tony was suspect number 2 for me about Rodney, was he was still bad mouthing Rodney after he's dead. Like, he still was talking trash about Rodney. It's like, the dude dead. Why are you still bad mouthing him? Sound like you got a bigger issue with him than what you're letting on. So Marley telling Tony, like, I gotta tell Fela he was cheating so she don't be blindsided by it. And Tony like, you ain't gotta tell her shit. And she like, yeah, I do. I definitely gotta tell her. So now Marley don't trust Tony. And neither did I. After that conversation they had, I started not to trust Tony either. So Marley goes to see Miss Beaumont. And Miss Beaumont tells Marley, I didn't call her. I didn't call that a battle axe. I did not call her. I don't even like her. She be feeding geese and shit, having them come all in my yard. I don't like her. Never have. And I did not call her and say anything to her about some man being in the backyard. So Marley like, oh, so the old battle axe did lie to me. So now Marley just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what's going on? Why am I getting lied to? Why am I getting this runaround? And the old lady, funny, Miss Beaumont gonna ask her, can she sue her neighbor about the geese? And she was adamant about it too. She was not bullshitting. She wanted to know if she could sue that lady for the geese. So anyway, Marley goes to go check on Fela. She hadn't heard from Fela in a while, so she go check on her. And Fela burning shit. Burning Rodney's clothes, pictures of Rodney. She just burning shit. And Marley's like, yo, you got to stop this, mama. Like, what are you doing? So she tell her, like, I can't unsee him. Every time I look up, I see him. So y'all can call me superstitious, but now I started to look at Fela a little different. Because why are you burning pictures of your husband? You should be wanting to keep the pictures, not burn the pictures. I know everybody deal with grief different, but that I've never heard of somebody who's grieving burning pictures of somebody that they love. I've never heard of that. So now Fela, suspect number 3 for me. I ain't gonna lie, Marley was a suspect at one point too, but Marley was just going. She was doing a lot. She was doing a lot. So I was like, okay. And the reason why I call these people suspect because I'm starting to wonder, like, what y'all got going on here? Something ain't adding up, right? And then I ain't gonna lie, for a while, Fela was not on my suspect list. It was just Tony and Kevin. When that scene came up of her burning his stuff, she became suspect number 3. But only Kevin is confirmed suspect right now for me. During this point in the movie, Kevin was the only one that was confirmed suspect for me, just because he was just too fucking weird. So they have this emotional conversation, and Fela still tells Marley to keep her distance. Like, she still don't want nobody at the house like that. So Marley's like, all right, fine. I won't impose myself on you. Which, in a way, Marley shouldn't have kept trying to impose herself on Fela. Let her deal with it how she feels the need to deal with it. Now, like I said, the burning picture shit threw me for a loop, because you could have just boxed his pictures up and gave them to his sister, not burned them. But once again, people deal with stuff how they want to. So when Marley goes home, Caleb pops up at the house. And Marley screaming for Tony. She calling for Tony. Tony comes out. He got his piece with him. And he basically tells Caleb, you come back here, I'm going to put 2 in you. Better go on somewhere. Get gone. So you got to watch the movie to hear what Tony said. Because I won't do it no justice if I say it. Because, you know. So Tony calls Kevin. He like, I thought you said you had this fool under control. So Kevin like, all right, I'll go check on Caleb and see what's going on. Marley's still a little salty with Tony, so she made Tony sleep on the couch. And like, I kind of feel like Marley's going a little too far with that, because like, okay, he didn't tell you about your brother. I get you got trust issues, but I'm not gonna make you sleep on the couch because you didn't tell me about my brother. It is a little suspect that you didn't tell me. Something about it don't sound right. Like, why did you keep that a secret? Did my brother tell you to keep it a secret? Did my brother pay you to keep it a secret? Like, did my brother find out that you knew he was cheating? And y'all, you know, like, what is it that made you keep it a secret from me, right? So I get being upset, but I wouldn't have had him sleep on the couch over the shit. Not at all. But anyway, so Caleb is at Rodney's gravesite, and Kevin pulls up, and Kevin's like, "What's going on, dude?" And Caleb like, "I need to apologize to these people. This was not my intention. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill him." And Kevin assures Caleb it's an open and closed shut case. It's justifiable. He's not going to lose his case. He'll be fine. He'll be back to work in no time. And Caleb like, "Can I please go talk to Fela and apologize?" And Kevin like, no, we're not gonna do that. Leave that alone." So they leave the grave site. And once again, remember I told you, Kevin is confirmed suspect for sure. Because Kevin turns around and looks at Rodney's grave site for a little too long. And it wasn't like, damn, I'm gonna miss that guy look. It was more like, I'm glad this motherfucker dead look. It was creepy. So he's still confirmed suspect numero uno. So Shannon and Sam update Marley on what's going on. I think, or was it Fela? I think it was Marley, actually. I forget which one of them they talked to be honest with you. I wrote Fela, but I don't know if it was Fela. I thought it was Marley. But anyway, Marley goes to meet, it might have been Fela, now I'm thinking about it. I think it was Fela. It was Fela that they went to go see. But anyway, Marley goes to go visit Fela again the next day. And some dude is jumping out of the window. Got on all black, and he's jumping out the window. Marley calls the police, runs in there, and Fela is apparently knocked out because she took some pills, right? Now, here's what don't set right with me. This is what starts making Fela become really suspect. I hope this didn't interrupt my video. Anyway, so this is what starts making Fela become a little suspect. Because you said you was knocked out on some sleeping pills, but when Marley came in there, you woke up instantly? Instantly? If you're on sleeping pills, it's going to take a lot for a motherfucker to wake you up. She woke up like she wasn't jolted. She wasn't shocked. She wasn't nothing. She just woke up instantly. It was suspect, to say the least. Well, after the police got there, Tony got there. Tony got there, was checking on everything, and then Kevin shows up. And of course, all hell break loose because Fela don't like Kevin. So they go outside, and Kevin is like, "We lost track of Caleb this morning. We don't have a clue where he is. That might have been him that jumped out the window," and blah, 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 blah. And here's the thing that didn't sit right with me. Kevin had on all black when he showed up. All black. And he didn't take long to get there. Because how did you know? And that's his first thing that Fela and Marley was trying to figure out is, how did Kevin know what was going on? How did you get there? Especially when you heard the call. How did you hear it? You're suspended. So what's going on? What's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't Caleb that jumped out that fucking window. It was Kevin. It was not Caleb. It was Kevin. Because I started thinking of that myself, like, why you got on all black? Just like the nigga that jumped out the window. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't buying it. So next thing you know, Marley goes back in to check on Fela, and the news leaks that Rodney was having an affair. And Fela like, well, here goes public humiliation. And Sam digs up dirt on Caleb and gives it to Marley. Now Marley is able to go and look at his military history background. They found out that he had a physical altercation with a black dude, almost beat him to death, but they don't disclose why. They just disclose that he almost beat a black military soldier to death. And a bunch of other violence history that he got. Now Marley's back at the mayor's office, and she's back at the office, and now they want to talk settlement. And they only want to talk settlement because they knew Marley found out about Caleb's past and his history, so they knew she was gonna win the case. So they want to talk settlement, and and the mayor's office lady is over there. She's like, no, we just want to talk settlement to make the peace in the community again, and we'll agree to the settlement as long as you can get Fela to agree to do a public announcement stating to stop the violence. So she's like, all right. So now she's in that office. Marley is, by the way. Marley's in the office because she like cut the bullshit. You want to settle, and this is why you want to settle. And if you want to settle, we're gonna make it a deal, right? So Marley in there, she eating Shorty up, going after her jugular, right? So they agree on the terms and conditions. 3 months later, after his death, they reached a final agreement on the settlement. So they agreed that day to do a settlement, but it took them 3 months to agree on the settlement for Rodney's death, which Fela got $15 million in settlement for Rodney's death. Fela goes and gives her public speech about stopping the violence and all this other jazz. Tony, Kevin, and Marley all looking at Fela the exact same way while she giving that story, like there's some bullshit. But see, Kevin and Tony looking at Fela differently than Marley. Marley looking at Fela, like with passion and like she upset that Marley even got to give this kind of speech type of look. But Tony and Kevin looking at her like, you don't mean that shit. Fuck you talking about. That's how they looking at her. And hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. So like I said, they get 15 M's for his death. 4 months after that, everybody noticed that Fela stopped going to the gym. Fela stopped talking to people. Fela cut everybody off. She just disappeared. And then Marley finds out from Shannon and Sam that Fela even moved. She doesn't even live in that same house anymore. She's gone. And Marley's like, what the hell are you talking about? She moved. So now Marley like, damn, Fela really don't want to deal with us no more? Like, is she really that upset with everybody? Like, I worked so hard to help her. And she really that upset? So, Marley's like, okay, I'll give her some space and, let it be. Shannon and Sam is like, we'll find out where she lives and give it to you later. She's like, no, if she want to talk to me, she will reach out to me. So Marley ends up getting snatched by Caleb and 2 females. And these people snatch her up basically to try to tell her that Kevin is not who he say he is. He's a liar. He's dangerous. He's crazy. And basically lets her know that Kevin set Caleb up, and hold on, y'all. So hold on. Marley didn't want to. So Marley don't trust Caleb, right? So Marley wasn't really trying to hear nothing Caleb had to say. She only would listen to the 2 females, but one of the females in particular was dating Kevin. And she was telling Marley, like, Kevin is crazy. Kevin is possessive. Kevin has threatened to do stuff to me before if I try to leave him. I was messing with Rodney. Didn't know he was married at first. When I found out, he told me that they were, going through a divorce and all of this, da. And she told Marley that Rodney was actually teaching her to protect herself and defend herself against Kevin. So she, was like, okay. She also finds out that Caleb is actually married to a black woman. And we find out that Caleb actually was defending his wife against the black soldier because the black soldier was his wife's ex-boyfriend who was trying to beat on her. So Caleb defended her. That is why Caleb beat the shit out of that man. It had nothing to do with race. It's the fact that he was trying to jump on his wife. That's why he defended her. That's why he beat him up. So now Marley's like, okay, I'm in the Twilight Zone. What's really going on? And they like, we need your help. And she like, take me back. So now Marley finds out a few different things. She finds out that Kevin actually worked Zone 5, not Zone 7. Zone 7 is where her brother was killed. So now she's starting to connect the dots together that Kevin had her brother killed on purpose. She's starting to figure this stuff out. Took her long enough, but she's starting to figure it out. So she gets a address from the white girl who was seeing Rodney, her brother, and she gets an address from him. Or from her. I'm sorry, not him, but gets an address from her. And she when she went to go meet up with Caleb's people, because I jumped ahead, I'm sorry, by the way, y'all. So when she got kidnapped in the van, she made them let her go, right? But they gave her an address that she can come back and meet them at, basically, which is where she found out all the information I just told you earlier. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. But she took Sam and Shannon with her when she went to go. So Sam and Shannon hears all this stuff as well. So now they know everything's going on. So back to what I was saying about the zones. So she realizes that Kevin was patrolling a zone he wasn't even supposed to be in. So now the address that the girl gave her, she uses it and she goes to it, and it's Kevin's house, right? So while she's sitting out there snooping and whatnot, Tony pulls up, or Tony's there, should I say? And Tony sneaks behind Marley, puts his hands over her mouth, and grabs her up. She's panicking. He's like, "Yo, relax, it's just me." He's like, "What are you doing here?" She was like, "I felt like something's off about Kevin." And he's like, "I figured you did, because when you asked me about the zones, I knew something was off. But he's a little fidgety. He ain't acting right. So if you ain't confirmed from the stuff I told you earlier, Kevin and Tony and Fela all got something going on. And Marley's just the only one who don't know." So when Tony spooks the hell out of Marley, Kevin pulls up and he's like, "What y'all doing out here?" And they was like, "Oh, we was just in the neighborhood and da da that." So Kevin's like, "Come on in, have a drink." And Marley's like, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and head back and get on out of here." And Tony's like, "We'll be in a second. We'll come on in. We'll come on in." So Marley's sitting there like, "I do not want to go in here at all." But Tony's like, let's just go in. Let's not be rude. Let's just go in." So they go in, and Marley asks for the bathroom, and he tells her where the bathroom is, and she heads to the bathroom. She finds the phone that the girl had told her about. They got all the recordings and stuff on it. When she opens up the phone and actually watches the recording, she actually sees that Tony is who the girl was talking about, because her and Tony are outside arguing. They're going back and forth. Tony, he putting his hands on her. Then she also finds out that Tony did do the stuff that they said he did. See, Tony was a former officer because he got fired because they said he was taking money from drug dealers, beating on people, and he killed somebody, supposedly. And Marley worked his case and got him $300K for his termination, which was what helped him start his PI business. And see, she finds out in the video that Tony was lying and he really did do the stuff they said he did. So now I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Stuff keeps popping up on my computer and it's throwing me off. Oh, so now she's looking at these videos. She's like, holy shit, this man's been lying to me all this time. And now she's like, who is he? Like, who is this guy? So Tony knocks on the door and he's like, are you coming out? And she's like, yeah, I'll be out in a second. She comes out and looking all scared and shit. And her scared look is kind of giving confirmation to Tony and Kevin that she found something and she knows something. So now, she's like, I'm not feeling well. I think I'm ready to go home. So she's like, I'm going to just go home and I'll see you at home, babe. And Kevin didn't lock the door and won't let her out. So she's like, Tony, tell Kevin to unlock this goddamn door so I can go. And Kevin's like, can't do that. Because see, you couldn't let go and just move on. You just had to keep prying. You just had to keep prying. I'm not about to let you out here so you can tell on us. No. You're going to die now. Because you should have just minded your business. So, she tries to leave. And Tony and Kevin chase her down. Chase her down, give her some like smelling salts or something like that puts her out. She's knocked out. They're on the boat where they're putting her body on the boat or whatever the case may be. And they get on the boat and drive off into the middle of the ocean. Now, this is where the movie magic happens. Because when they got her on that boat, there was nobody else on that boat. But when they get her to where the middle of the ocean where they're getting ready to try to drop her off at, Fela pops up out of nowhere. I'm like, where the hell did Fela come from? Because that boat ain't that big. So where the hell did Fela come from? I was so confused. I'm like, where the hell did Fela come from? Was she on this boat this entire time? Like, none of it made sense. So, anyway. So, well, there's a water police guy, the water patrol guy. And he notices the boat out there. He goes out there. He lets them know, like, hey, y'all not supposed to be out here because of the water levels. What y'all doing out here? And they get to talking about this, that, and the third. And he getting ready to write him a citation. He was going to write him a citation and go about their business. But here's where the white cop made a problem at. He started asking too many questions about Marley. So they got nervous. And Kevin shoots him. And Marley starts to wake up. And they like, oh shit, she done got up. So they like, all right, we got her up and dump her then. So they half-ass tie this anchor around her and drop her in the bottom of the ocean or lake, whatever it is. They just drop her down there. Now the popo guy that they shot got a floaty on, so his floaty floats him back up to the top. So now his body is floating around in the water, and Marley, who was halfway awoke when they dropped her in the water, wakes up completely now. And she's got the anchor tied to her, so she's trying to drag it. And she realizes she can't really drag it, so she's fighting. She ends up getting free. And she swims to the boat. So when they killed the popo guy, they sunk his boat. Well, Kevin did. Kevin hopped in the water, and he sunk his boat. And when he sunk his boat, it tipped over upside down. So but Marley swam to the boat to get some air. They're up there wrestling, trying to get the popo man's body. While they doing all of that, Fela is doing a horrible job of being a lookout. She too busy trying to tell them what to do. So while they all wrestling with the body and everything, Marley is standing up with a flare gun, and I want to say she shot either Kevin first or Fela first. I don't remember which one she popped first, but she shot Fela, I think, first with the flare gun. Fela flew off the side of the boat. She then shot Kevin with the flare gun. He flew off the side of the damn boat. And then Tony trying to charm his way out of it. He like, I love you. This was not my plan. Blah 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 blah. And she popped Tony ass too. He flew off the side of the boat. Now she shot each and every one of them with a flare gun bullet. I don't know how bad those hurt. I don't care. When she shot him with that bullet and they flew off, I think to myself, ain't no way in hell. TV magic once again. But anyway, so she then shoots the flare gun in the air to signal she's in SOS in distress. In the end, Caleb gets acquitted for the shooting, which honestly I don't think he still should have got away with it, because he got away with killing Rodney, technically. But it ends with Shannon interviewing Marley and Caleb about the whole situation, and that's pretty much how it ends, right? Now that we know how the movie ends, and we find out that Kevin, Tony, and Fela actually were working all together. Let's dig into some notes. Okay. Now, one thing that I noticed, and I'm not too, it's just me being nosy. So Rodney's bow-legged ass, when he was walking through that alleyway to go meet up with that girl at that house, why did he not think to take? Anyway, so when he was walking through that alleyway, why did he not? I would have took my. I'm just gonna be honest. You're a black man walking through the alleyway that looks suspicious. Sorry, you got a hoodie on, all black. I don't care if you do got on jogger clothes or not. It looks suspicious. So, as a black man, knowing how America is, not saying that it's right, but as a black man, I would have took those cautionary steps and at least took my headphones out. At least took the headphones out, especially when. And then that was a short-lived little interaction that he had going on with the girl, but that's none of my business. But I think I would have took my headphones out just on the strength that we know how they are. We know. And I wouldn't have been, I don't know, I just would have just, or when I seen him point a gun at me, I would have just came out with my hands. Not my phone, just my hands. That's it. And I would have took my hat down and took my headphones off. Because let's say that he was of the other nature, right? We know how that probably would have went. But just in general, regardless of race, a good safety tip when dealing with law enforcement, try your best to avoid anything looking like it what it ain't. Because they seen black and assumed it was a gun, which is all the way wrong. But now, knowing the end of the movie, we realized Kevin knew what Kevin was doing. Caleb didn't know, but Caleb also should have made his own judgment call. Because if Kevin yells out gun but doesn't shoot, why would I shoot? He saw it, right? Because Caleb clearly didn't see it as a gun. Because Caleb didn't shoot first. When Kevin yelled gun is when Caleb shot. So why would I'm not going to shoot if you don't shoot? You claim you saw a gun. I didn't see a gun. So I'm not going to waste my time shooting this man. You shoot him if you seen a gun. I wouldn't have shot. That was the first thing Caleb made a mistake on. Because when he yelled gun and you did not see a gun, you shouldn't have shot. You clearly didn't see a gun. Clearly Caleb did not see a gun. So it didn't make sense for Caleb to shoot. Like I said, Kevin seemed suspicious from that moment Rodney got shot. From the moment Rodney got shot, Kevin seemed suspicious from the jump. The video that they showed from the body cam of Kevin telling Caleb gun and him shooting was not a justifiable video, because you can clearly tell it's a square box that he's pulling out of his pocket. No handle, no barrel, no nothing. It didn't look like a gun whatsoever. So that was bullshit when everybody kept talking about something it was justifiable. Also, the call the old lady got, it was a suspicious call. And honestly, if you listen real good and you listen to the voice, you know it's a black female, a black young female, and instantly I knew it was Fela. I just didn't want to say that at first in the beginning of the movie because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. But it sounded like Fela, and it was definitely Fela that made that anonymous call. During the film, everybody was suspect to me. Everybody was, because you never know when you watch a Tyler Perry film. You never know who's going to turn out to be the dirt devil. So everybody was suspicious to me. Marley was suspicious. Fela was suspicious. Tony was suspicious. Kevin was numero uno. And Caleb was even suspicious. Hell, the old white lady was suspicious to me. Everybody was suspicious because it just didn't seem right. But the more I watched the movie, the more Marley became non-suspicious. Hell, at one point, Shannon and Sam seemed suspicious to me too. Not gonna lie to you. At one point, that both of them seemed suspicious. Something about them seemed off because they was finding out too much information and they was getting anonymous tips. It just was a lot of shit just wasn't making sense to me, to be honest. But at the same time, That's what happened when you watch these kind of movies. They make you think. Caleb was innocent to an extent. He was telling the truth. He was innocent to an extent. He was innocent in the event that he was played into killing Rodney. But he also had a mind of his own. So we need not negate the fact that Caleb had a mind of his own, and Caleb had not seen Rodney's phone as a gun. He did not see it that way, because if he did, he would have yelled out gun and shot. He didn't see Rodney's phone as a gun. He just didn't. Kevin yelled that out. It spooked Caleb. Caleb shot. But Caleb also still needed to be held accountable for his actions too, because he didn't have to shoot. He could have waited to see exactly what it was, because by the time he gets a chance to even pull, if it was a gun, he would have pulled it. He pulled it like this. Anybody with a gun in their pocket ain't gonna pull it like this. And then two, how did you, like, come on, I digress. I'm gonna get into a whole spiel about that and get mad. So, the sleeping pills that Fela said she took. There's no way you took sleeping pills, and when Marley got there, because you said you had just took the sleeping pills not too long ago. So if you didn't hear somebody breaking in your house and you didn't hear your alarm go off, there's no way in hell when Marley walked up on you and woke you up that you wouldn't have jumped up out of your sleep scared shitless. You woke up out your sleep normal. She did not take no sleeping pills. And I don't know why Marley didn't put two and two together then. She should have known then something was going on. 2. Her pretending not to like Kevin is kind of what started giving away that she was on some bullshit. Because she spent the entire movie pretending like she didn't like Kevin, which made me start to be suspicious of Fela, because I'm like, what are you, okay, you didn't give her no real reason why you don't like Kevin. No real reason. If you would have said, oh, he keeps flirting with me even though I got a husband, that I would have understood, but you never brought that up once. Not even once. 2. Why in the hell didn't Tony stay hidden when Marley came to Kevin's house? Why didn't he just stay hidden? Because had he stayed hidden, they would have got to see what Marley actually knew and just let it play out. But instead, he gave away his identity, which gave Marley the idea that she was going to have to be on defense mode with him instantly. Should have just let it play out. So when she came back from the bathroom, one thing that I would have done is I would have been like, when I came out of there, I'd have been like, so where's the wine? I would have played it off so smooth, like I didn't know nothing was going on, that them two would have been sitting there looking stupid. I'm like, where's the wine? Pour me up a bottle of wine. You said come in for a drink. Where's the wine? And we would have sit and we would have talked, and I would have asked Kevin, in your opinion, is Caleb really innocent in shooting my brother? I would have played the whole thing smooth. Because I'd have been like, I really feel like he needs to pay for my brother. I would have played it so smooth that Kevin wouldn't have known and Tony wouldn't have known what was going on. She gave it away when she came out that bathroom acting all frantic. She gave it away. She gave it away. Hands down, she gave it away. 2, I don't really know. Now I'm confused. So was Tony's name really Kevin? And was Kevin's name something really different? Because, see, the white girl who was messing with Rodney was messing with Tony, aka Kevin. Because she thought that Tony's name was Kevin. Just like Marley thought Tony's name was Tony. But according to what they said on that boat, Tony's name really was Kevin. So it was the way they planned it out was so smooth. Honestly, had they used their common sense and not done that weird shit with having Fela disappear and act like she, then Marley would have never got even more in tune with the investigation. Caleb would have went to prison for murder, and then it would have ended. But Fela got that money and disappeared. Fela made it worse. Fela made it worse. Also, we find out that Tony getting fired was part of their plan. See, Tony getting fired and Marley fighting his case, getting him money for something he really did do, let them know that she was going to be able to win almost any unbeatable case. They knew she would be able to. So they knew the big checks was in murder. They knew it. So Kevin was fine with getting, suspended or terminated because he knew it was going to be a big payout in the end. She got $15 million. $5 million to Kevin, $5 million to Tony. She walk away with $5 million. That's probably what the plan was. $5 million per person. Or maybe it was $7 million her way and then they split the other $4 million their way. Who knows? But they knew it was going to be a big payoff when they found out that she won that case for Tony. They knew she could win any case, basically. But like I said, the biggest thing I'm confused about is I'm not sure if Kevin is Tony and Tony's Kevin. That name shit threw me off. But I know for a fact that the white girl assumed that Tony was Kevin because that's the name he gave her. Because that's who she was messing with. She wasn't messing with Kevin, the Kevin that we know, Ron Rico Kevin. She was messing with Tyler Lepley Kevin. And she didn't know the difference between the two. And see, that house that they was at was a rental. It wasn't even their house. Because once they got done with everything, they were all going to skip town. It wasn't even, that house was a rental. Now, that's it for my notes. Let's talk about the rating of the film. Let's rate that film. So IMDb gave us a 4.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave us a 25%. And some dude named Roger Ebert gave it a 1 out of 4. I don't know who the hell that is. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave it 7 out of 10 because it actually is a good movie. It's a good watch. It lost 3 points because, one, I got confused on if Kevin really was Tony and Tony was really Kevin. That confused me. It didn't really make sense. 2, it also lost another point because of Fela just randomly popping up on the boat. Didn't make sense to me. Where the fuck did she come from? And then 3, it lost another point because halfway through the movie, you start to be able to put together who was part of what. And then I really should lose another point because Marley pissed me off because instead of her crying, I know it's hard to see your brother get killed, but if you really trying to fight a case and prove something, if she would have watched that video in its entirety, she would have seen that Kevin stopped Caleb from saving her brother's life. And she would have been able to show the department that Kevin is the reason why her brother died and Kevin was up to something. She would have closed the case right then and there. But she got too emotionally invested and wasn't paying attention. And that pissed me off because if you want to fight a case, regardless of the relationship to somebody, if you want to actually fight a case, use your emotions to the best of you, not against you. She got so emotionally invested, she got blindsided by quite a few things throughout that film. She got blindsided that Fela was up to no good. She didn't trust Tony, but really, I mean, she just don't trust men, so that didn't count. So a lot of it, I'm still gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I would rewatch this movie again, especially so I can try to catch things that I might have missed. But yeah, 7 out of 10. It was some things in this movie that pissed me off. I want you guys to go watch this movie, rate it for yourself, tell me what you think. Once again, it's been your one more thing before I leave. My why the rate. I haven't done this in a while. Like I said, the movie was good. Most of the movie I spent screaming, Marley, girl, pay attention. Girl, pay attention. Most of the movie I was doing that. Marley had book smarts, but she wasn't street smart. She wasn't street smart at all. It took her too long to connect the dots. Fela's acting did annoy me. Like, I'm pretty sure she was supposed to be pretending to be grieving. So that part pissed me off because I could tell she was faking. And it was irritating the hell out of me because she was faking. The storyline in the movie was good. There are other movies out here similar to this movie, but not exactly the same movie. They're similar, but not exactly. There's episodes of Madlock just like this movie. The story really didn't drag. It kind of got to the point. Like, it wasn't really dragging. It kind of got to the point. Especially for me, it did. It just kind of really got to the point. There was not a lot of dragging. There was consistency in the movie. The only thing that wasn't consistent was the fact of Fela getting on a boat just magically. That was inconsistent. It didn't really explain what she, because this boat was so small. I'm like, how did we not see her on the boat when they was getting Marley on the boat? It just didn't. I don't know. That part pissed me off, as you could tell a lot. Because Marley didn't trust men so much, I think is why she had blinders onto women. Because if you noticed in the movie, when Caleb was trying to tell her he was innocent, she didn't want her to hear shit he had to say. But then those two women got to talking, and she listened to what the women said. And as you can see, that Marley has a 50-50 false judgment. She trusted a group of men at one point, then realized she couldn't trust them. She trusted nothing but women and fell victim to Fela. The one woman she shouldn't have trusted, she trusted her. I really want to know, did Tony, Fela, and Kevin really die from the flare gun? Like, did them getting shot in the chest really kill them? Or did it knock them out and they drown? I'm just trying to figure out what really happened with the flare gun stunt, because I don't know. And then they suck at wrapping chains, because y'all wrapped them chains around her wrist with the anchor, and it clearly wasn't a good tie. Y'all suck. Y'all suck. Another thing that I want to talk about, because I've seen this a lot in the comment sections about this movie. Why do people think that movies are meant to trick you? A movie is not meant to trick you. It's meant to entertain you and show you the obvious right in front. You're the viewer, so it's supposed to be obvious to you. It's not supposed to be obvious to the person in the film, because they're supposed to be investigating and learning it. A movie has never been not straight in your face. It just never. I haven't seen a movie that hasn't been straight in your face. It's always usually straight in your face. It's up to you how fast you figure it out versus the next person. Because some people will watch this review and be like, nah, I'll tell you, I figured it out within 30 minutes, 35 minutes, which I technically figured it out the first 35 minutes that Kevin and Tony was up to no good. It took me halfway through the movie to figure out Fela was up to no good. But my point still remains that y'all are too busy thinking that a movie is supposed to be tricking y'all. It's not. It's not. The movie is not supposed to trick you. It's supposed to be right there in your fucking face. So I get irritated when people be like, oh, Tyler Perry directs or writes the same. First of all, I don't even think he wrote this movie. I know he was the director, but I don't even think he wrote it. I think he was just the director for it. I didn't even look that part up because I didn't care. I get tired of y'all Tyler Perry bashing so much that y'all always want to throw so much salt in this man's game. Like, for Pete's sakes, when has a movie ever been made to trick you unless it's literally a trickster movie? I don't know. Y'all kill me with that. I feel like sometimes Tyler Perry gets all these bad reviews automatically because of who he is. It has nothing to do with the work he's done, the movies he's gotten. I feel like people just instantly give him a bad review just because of who he is. And it kind of gets on my nerves, because stop giving him, y'all don't have no real reason to dislike the man. There's nothing in media that says anything negative about this man that is true for y'all to have an attitude or dislike him. Same thing with Spike Lee, Denzel, Chadwick Boseman when he was alive, God rest his soul. There's so many other people out here that there's no negative connotation about. You don't hear anything negative about them in the media that's true, or that you could prove that it's true. And they get bad, like Denzel Washington ain't getting no type of bad reps because there's nothing negative about him. But for some reason, people just despise Tyler Perry, and I'm like, why? What's the real reason y'all don't like Tyler Perry? That's the question of the day. Why do y'all really despise Tyler Perry? What's the real reason why people don't like him? So I want to know, why do people feel like Tyler Perry gets such bad reviews from random people? Do y'all think it's just people being haters? Or do y'all think Tyler Perry really has done something wrong? Like, why is he not getting the credit he doesn't deserve? Because the only thing that Tyler Perry's ever written and produced and directed that I did not like was Ruthless. That's the only show that he has out here I do not like, is Ruthless. I cannot stand that show. I do not like that show. Ruthless is a bit too much for me. I don't like that show. I watched, I think, maybe 4 or 5 episodes of the first season, and I did not like it. I didn't, and I was shocked because I love me some Tyler Perry. That was the first thing he's done that I did not like at all. I was like, ooh, can't touch this one. And maybe if I watched more of it, maybe I would. But to me, it's too much of a mind fuck that I can't get with it. So I just don't like that one. But thank you guys for viewing. Make sure you guys subscribe, share, like, and comment for your girl. We have done what we came to do. Argue with your mama. Peace out.